Hello YouTube. So this is a project double barrel I picked up. Mechanically it's not too bad. One side doesn't like to fire every time, sometimes fires when you don't want it to, so that's for later on. But this stock is a replacement somebody put on very poorly. I don't even know what to say about this, but for now, since it is fitted roughly, I'm going to do some work on it, see if I can make it look presentable, finish shaping it, clean all this up. I'm going to have to do some wood filler or something in there on the sides. I'm hoping I can reposition this and even cut this back if I have to make all this fit properly. But I figure we're a good 75% of the way there, so why throw this in the garbage now and start from scratch? If I do it and it doesn't look good, I can always throw it in the garbage then. So, just some sandpaper, Dremel, a couple of screwdrivers, X-Acto knife, always goggles, some tape to cover up any bits if I'm getting close with the Dremel, and yeah, I'm going to speed this up and see how long it will take. Once this is done, this is all nickel plated. I'm going to clean it up and get it looking nice. But this is going to be an ongoing project. The barrels are going to need to be re-blued, stripped, polished and re-blued because they are in very rough shape. The bore is good though, so well, let's get into it and see if I can make this look decent. right, well, I've gotten this about as good as I'm going to get it. It's not a perfect fit quite yet. I just want to start working on the mechanical aspect of the gun, get it firing, and take it to the range. So, put a couple of zip ties through so I can hang it once it's stained. It's been all wiped down. I'm just going for some red mahogany because that is what I had around. Get that out of the way. Make sure your hands are clean. Okay, well, the stain has dried now, and I've given it a light sand and then a shot of clear coat. So it looks pretty good. The receiver fits a lot nicer than before. So I'm going to give this a bit of a polish, this nickel plating on here. And the big job is now going to be stripping the barrel. For stock, coating a stain because it was a much lighter color. It is darker than I wanted, but again, $40 shotgun. So let's just see how this looks with a quick assembly. I might have to still do some shaping to get everything fitting properly. And please remember, this is a shotgun rehabilitation, not a restoration. There we go. Trigger guard looks like it might have a little twist to it. Have to flatten that out. I'm not sure if you can see there, but the gaps I had here before were really bad. And now the screw holes don't line up because I shaved everything down and brought it all back a little bit. So I'm going to have to fill those holes in. I'm going to do it the easy way. A little wood dowel or toothpicks will work, and some just some good carpenter's glue. Put those in, let them dry, and then take them down with your Dremel, rotary tool, what have you. Let's see how this looks just roughly assembled. Well, that looks significantly better than it did before. I'm going to give this a bit of a polish, but I think, you know, that doesn't look too bad for right now. I think I'm going to go on rebluing the barrel now. A lot of these projects I sort of figured out as I go. Now, if you don't know, your forestock on these is actually what keeps your barrel on. Normally we just go to there with the forestock. It comes right apart. With these decorative screws, I should actually have a wider screwdriver, but this was the thinnest head I could find. There's already some damage on that screw. I don't want to do more, but All right, just a quick little update here. So I've been using my gel rust remover on this, the little brass brush, and that was not doing it quick enough. So went to the gel rust remover that stripped off the bluing. Pretty much any acids will. Vinegar is a good one for stripping off the bluing, and it's very mild. And now I'm just going to go with some 800 grit paper. I hope I don't have to go any more aggressive than 800 grit. And just wrap it around the barrel. And again, you don't want to go super aggressive right from the start. Always easier to go to a coarser paper, a coarser brush, a coarser wheel. I'd rather see some pitting left on this once I'm done and I re-blue it. I'd rather see some pitting that shows some age rather than showing some sand marks that shows you really don't know what the heck you're doing. But I may hit it with some heavier paper yet. I'd like to avoid that as much as possible. It's definitely feeling better. Well, I'll come back in a bit after I've done a little bit of work on this. Getting a little bit chilly in the workshop, so I'm going to turn the heat on, and I don't think you want to sit here listening to the fan run all night. Yeah, I'll keep working on it, but this is just a little bit of an update on my good old H.J.A.B special. Still trying to figure out what that stands for. If taken the wrong way and not said as an acronym, somebody might think it is not an appropriate name for it, but it is an acronym. All right. Well, I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Probably more like an hour. I'm going to clean this up and see what I can make it look like. See you in a few. All right, well, I've stripped all the bluing off with some vinegar. I've used some of the rust removing gel. I've used a lot of sandpaper. And this is about as good as it seems to be getting. I tried doing a little bit of blasting, but I think I'd have to take a lot off in order to get this looking really good. So I'm going to go ahead with it as it sits. There is still some visible pitting, but again, this is not a restoration. This is a rehabilitation. And this is going to be my first try with super blue, some cold bluing. So before I do that, I'm going to give it a final wipe down. It's been wiped several times, hung to dry. But I like brake clean for my projects. It doesn't leave any residue. And you can use it for many, many things. Yeah, just give it a good wipe down again. I've scrubbed this thing. I've had it in the bathtub rinsing it out. Want to make sure that you get all the residue off of whatever you used. And I went from 100 all the way up to 600 grit on this. I used some wire brushes as well in places, mostly the brass. Did use a stainless steel one for a few moments. And I'm going to do the back side first, because then I can rest it on there. As with anything, you want to use it in a separate cup. Don't contaminate what you're going to be using on other projects. So this is going to be interesting. A little bit of rust gluing a long time ago. I've done the, oh wow, look at that. That's that is definitely quick. I've had some mixed results, but again, this gun isn't in fantastic shape. The nickel plating on the receiver is actually quite decent. Let's give it a quick wipe down with a little more brake clean. See how she looks. See some of those streaks that were on there, where I had it run down, seem to be fading with that brake clean. Get that all cleaned up. I'm not going to worry about the part that'll be sitting under the forestock all that much. And again, let me say, rehabilitation, not restoration in this case. If this was a restoration, I would probably have it bead blasted, something like that, to try to make it perfect. And I'm starting with fresh solution for the second real coat of this. A while back I did a video on oil bluing. Didn't turn out too bad. I never got around to posting it because it wasn't the best quality there, but I'll try to get around to that this weekend if I can get this one up and edited in time. From up close, yeah, it won't look perfect. From a couple feet away, this probably looks pretty decent. Again, this is a $40 shotgun project, doing the barrel. This was 15 bucks, laying around. Everything else was pretty much laying around, just a little bit of sandpaper. The barrel I've probably put 20, 25 bucks into if you added everything up. I'll let this sit, and I've actually got the receiver soaking in some mineral spirits. It is fairly gummed up. It didn't seem to be working properly, so we'll see how it is after soaking in some mineral spirits for a bit. There's no external hammers on it, so nothing I can really check or lubricate that way, but I think it was just gummed up from sitting. That is a pretty decent looking barrel for a cheap repair job. If you're doing a project like this, proof marks. You've got to look for your proof marks. Make sure that it is for smokeless powder. This is an older one, so I really wanted to make sure, so had to do some looking, but it is definitely for smokeless powder. 70 millimeter, I think it's on there, it's Belgian, so 70 millimeters, so that would be the 2 3/4 inch shells. Always make sure that, if in doubt, err on the side of caution, get 2 3/4, not the 3 inch. So that's the barrel done. This is the butt that I shaped. Nothing was really fitting up here when I got it. It was just roughly fit to it. The trigger guard didn't sit properly. It was sitting about like that. Somebody had notched it out too much. So I cleaned that up. I trimmed this back and got everything to come back about 1/8, 1/16 of an inch. So now it sits in there. Not the greatest spacing, but that's not going to change tonight. Threw some dowels in the old screw holes. I'm just going to clean those up with the Dremel now and drill 2 new holes for that. And once the receiver's cleaned up and oiled, I can start assembling. So here is an update on that, still trying to figure out what the acronym means, but the H.J.A.B Special double barrel Belgian shotgun. So I've put up a couple of videos of this. Yeah, it's gotten fairly come a long way. So the bluing is nice and dark. These are just snap caps just to test. And safety works. And I'm not sure if you can hear, but so everything works on it. I haven't fired it yet, but I'm going to fairly soon. The stock is still not a perfect fit. This is my first time attempting to fit a stock this way, so we'll see. I think I might actually need to shim it in here a little bit. But from where it was, I think I paid, what was it, 30 or 40 bucks for it, something like that. It is a fairly decent looking functional shotgun now, which it was none of the above before. So if anybody has any idea what H.J.A.B Special stands for, let's see if we can get it on here. and it's H.J.A.B Ronge Fils Liege. So, and it does have Belgian proof marks, so oh, there we go. Just a little stiff. So, yeah, it is ready to test fire. Oh, there we go. All nicely oiled up, ready for storage. Just make sure I didn't do anything there. There we go. If you have any information on this gun, I'd be very, very interested to find out what that even means.